Hey guys, this is Arnobliss98, and here is Dinobot Strafe from Transformers Age of Extinction. Yeah, sorry for the long wait, guys. This guy took quite some time to make, and I was also pretty busy with like other stuff, like midterms in school. And my voice sounds a little strange because like I'm a bit sick. So yeah, I just thought I'd film this video now since it's a snow day. I don't have any school today, which is nice. Because the snow's still going on outside. And happy Chinese New Year for those of you who celebrate it. Yeah, including myself and my family. Yeah. So here's Strafe in Dino mode. Just gonna spin him around. He's huge. My camera's currently on a tripod, so since like I can't handle him with one hand, he's huge like lengthwise, like his wingspan, whatever. It's hard to turn him around. I'm just gonna spin him around since. Yeah, he doesn't look that good in pictures on my Flickr, so hopefully he comes across better in person, like in the video. Yeah, I really like how Strafe turned out. Raise his heads. Yeah, Strafe, of course, is a two-headed pterodactyl or pteranodon, which is probably the most unrealistic of all the Dinobots, like Dino mode, since I don't think those really exist, unless one got seriously mutated back then and fossilized and found, which is highly unlikely. He is really posable in this mode. I hope you can see everything well. Yeah. This is my favorite of his two modes, and actually I gotta say this is my favorite of all the Dinobots, Dino modes they made so far. 3 out of the 4 Dinobots I have. They started with his tail. It's really posable. It's on these like all these mini ball joints and these little club tail things at the end. They're much longer in the movie. They're like double this length, but I didn't want to make it look really weird in robot mode, so I think this looks fine. The toy has it pretty short also, so. His body, I like the shaping of the body. All the robot stuff's pretty well hidden. And his wings, I like how they came out. You flap them up and down, of course. Oh, yeah, and they do come off a little bit since his connection isn't too strong. Yeah, and there you go. He's like trying to fly. Whatever, insert pterodactyl noise here. And the end of his wingtips move a bit, mainly for transformation. You can move his claws here. Yeah, the wings came out pretty nice. I like how they turned out. The shaping, it's kind of like a diamond shape, and this part just attaches to the end. And down below his feet, I don't want to mess with them too much because they don't really stay put, and they kind of like, I don't know, wiggle around a bit. And he has these 3 claws at the end. I think that's accurate, 3 claws. They're probably my least favorite since I don't think they look too accurate for pterodactyl feet. And last but not least, his heads. He's tricky to balance with his feet too. They're pretty simple. Well, they look simple, but they took me a while to figure out. And you can open his mouth up and down, his little jaw, and you can see his little teeth here. Both heads are identical, but in the movie, I think one of them is a bit different, but I don't know, I can't really make them too much different without making them like too different. Like, yeah, it sounded really weird, but yeah, they're exactly the same for me, and they're the same on the toy also. I can't tell the difference anyway in the pictures or whatever. That should be it for Dino mode. He's pretty long, jeez. And he can put his tail down. There you go. And of course, most of you guys want to know how he compares to Bumblebee. They're pretty well scaled, better than the other Dinobots, since Strafe's one of the smallest in Dino mode. And yeah, Bumblebee could kind of ride Strafe, but I don't want to mess with his kibble too much, and he's pretty fragile at the moment. And just stick him on there. There you go. Going for a ride. And one thing you can do, of course, Bumblebee, now they have Strafe here, is you can take Stinger and like take off his head and he'll do his body away. And then Bumblebee could be like, I hate cheap knockoffs, and hold Stinger's head, and just like, yeah, Strafe can hold it in his mouth. Oops, Bumblebee. There you go. You can just stick it in there. Here's Bumblebee with Strafe. So now onto the transformation. Strafe transformation is pretty simple and straightforward. It goes out pretty smoothly, but it's not as like interesting as the other 2 Dinobots transformations. First of all, you gotta fold up the wings, and also the toy's transformation isn't very it's pretty simple also. It's kind of really lazy also. And you gotta fold up the wings too. They're on like double ball joints, and these come off sometimes. And then you gotta fold back his little fingers. Notice his wings, we'll deal with them later. And what else? Now onto his head. I just want to get this part out of the way because it gets annoying later on if I don't do this part first. You take his jaw, rotate it, and it kind of covers up his eye on one side. Same with the other side. And fold it in. This part is annoying because like his heads are a bit fragile, and you just fold this section back, and as you can see, they kind of split off. And of course, his entire robot mode is just unfolding under here. Pull out his arms and his legs. Well, these will be his legs. And there's a snowplow. It's in the here in the background. And you can fold out his legs like this. This is similar to what Slug does. And you could rotate the body around. And there's his legs. You gotta pull out his pointy night shoes or feet, whatever. And fold up his his dino claws to become knee pads. This is also similar to what Slug does also. And those are his legs. And then his arms are pretty easy. Just take that, rotate it. Yeah, this is a really lazy transformation. And also take his head, rotate it around, and that should be most of the robot right there. Of course, you got to do something with the dino heads, of course. And you could just fold them down. Oh, that's not. Oh yeah, that falls off a lot. You gotta rotate them like this. Yeah, for these form as like shoulder pads. I think this is really lazy based on the design of the movie. Could have done something better with this, but it still looks cool. Yeah, my hand is creating a shadow here. Do the same thing with the other side. And those are the dino heads on the shoulders. And last but not least, both his wings, of course, they form together and make a big cape. So you gotta take this entire section, rotate it, and kind of push it down. Same thing on the other side. Yeah. You can see this is pretty fragile and getting in the way a lot. And that should be it for his back. It kind of just sits, all this wing stuff just sits here. So here is Strafe in his dinosaur mode. I took off my camera off the tripod since he's much smaller now. Easy to like turn around and manipulate, I guess. Here's his back. You can see all this big cape. This is a pretty lazy design for robot mode. His head just sit there, and his like legs come from his dinosaur legs, and his arms just come out from his sides or whatever. Yeah, of course, this is like my least favorite of the two modes, and he's not bad. I think I did a good job considering how his design is in the movie and its concept art. It's really simple. Yeah. One thing I didn't like, wasn't intending to solve, was the fact that like just like in the toy, his dinosaur eyes will still be showing like on his robot mode, but I use his jaw to like swing around and cover them up to also provide some like clearance for his arms here. And it's pretty standard articulation. Because in dinosaur mode, robot mode, most of the like dinosaur heads you can see on them are kind of like mixed up. You can kind of tell they're dinosaur heads, but at the same time are not too like distinct. Also similar to what also is on Slug. They kind of like split in half. They're kind of like mixed up a bit. Yeah, I really like the chest area. His arms rotate. It's pretty standard. You can move his fingers. His legs also on the ball joint. It's all standard articulation. Foot pivot, and you move his toes. And a close up on his head. This took me a while to figure out. He has this one like visor and a spike coming out, similar to what a gladiator helmet is. Oh well, it's getting pretty bright here. Similar to what a gladiator helmet is, or what Boba Fett's helmet looks like in Star Wars. That's what it kind of reminds me of. So yeah, this is probably it for robot mode. It doesn't do much. And of course he has his back stuff. His tails do droop down like this, according to the concept art. Yeah, and you can see the struts holding the head in place. Yeah, his head does look a bit sunken in. It's kind of like that in the concept art. He has this little overhang here also, which is caused by this center panel. Yeah, and of course, the toy, of course, it comes with the crossbow and like two like spears, but in the movie Strafe, you don't really see him that much in robot mode. Like he's always like behind the other Dinobots, like always in the back. Like you see Grimlock walking up to Optimus, and you see Slug and like Scorn, and then you barely see Strafe in the back. But when you see him, he doesn't have any weapons whatsoever. Both his hands are open, and so I decided not to include his weapons since he doesn't have them in the movie, or at least we don't see him with them. That should be it for this video. Of course, here's Strafe with Bumblebee. They're not bad size. Strafe would be so much bigger, of course. And of course, you bring in Stinger. Those two. I'm gonna get him to stand first. They're both leaning on Strafe, so whatever. I'm actually not sure who to make next. I'm not that much for Age of Extinction. I have Erasure Mode Prime, which I'll probably be making next for Age of Extinction. I also have Hound and also the big three, Lockdown, Optimus, and Grimlock. So yeah, I might stall myself and work on some RID, but since I don't have the parts for Hound at the moment. So what do you guys think? Should I work on Invasion Mode Prime or do some Robots in Disguise? Which I probably have Quillfire or Kickback planned, or maybe even Drift. What do you guys think? Let me know below in the comments. So this has been RFS98, and I'll see you guys later.